Welcome back, everybody. My name is Dragagan, and in this episode, we are going to work on our EBF. In the last episode, I was getting a bunch of stuff set up and going. I was trying to remember where I was last, since I did take an extended break there. Of course, my nice little clipboard helped me remember what I was working on. I had also made a new instance in MMC, so I booted up my old instance, and I went in and I pulled over all the different things that I was looking at making. Basically, one of each of the basic machines that rounds out our basic machine set, but I decided to go ahead and work on the EBF stuff instead. Now, one of the most important pieces of our EBF, I need a basic mixer, because in order to make the mica-based pulp that's required to make the the copper nickel coils, these guys, the mica insulator foil, I need a mixer. So I had to add a mixer to my list of stuff, and in order to get that stuff going on. Apologies for the steam up there hissing every time, because it's full. I'm not building anything right now, because I finally got all the parts together that I was working towards. So right here we have our basic mixer. I already got the materials together and put it together. That'll complete a quest. Hey DJ, mix it. Here is our EBF main controller. I just want to double check something real quick here in our multi-block goals. I just want to make sure that we're not, we don't have anything weird except the optional task of the copper nickel wire as well as the copper nickel block. The biggest thing in order to complete this quest is to get the blast furnace controller, and then everything else on this list is all an optional task. So we really don't have to worry about it too much, but it is nice to see it there so that we know what we need. And of course, I have all of those things marked out right here, from an input bus, an output bus, an input hatch, the maintenance hatch, the muffler hatch, 2 LV energy hatches, and then the mixer and some basic steam turbines. And of course, now that I've been talking, it's been a couple minutes and it's already gone to nighttime. So get that taken care of. So here we go. This will complete that quest. It'll also apparently do fireworks and make a bunch of noise. There we go. The other thing that I have going on right now that isn't really standard is I also went and I got the lead together from the Twilight Forest, and I got the stuff together here to make the 5 batteries that the battery quest requests. And then I can put those tools away. So there we go. That'll free up one of these guys. Now, in here, I have everything that I need in order to get the rest of the EBF set up. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plop down this mixer. Whoops. Slap him down right there. Make sure that he gets connected good. And then I can come in here and we can drop in those things. 24 mica dust, 8 sticky resin, and we need a programmed circuit of 2. So shift click that, click 2, and there we go. We're off to the races, and I'm just going to let that run. You can see I also have the asbestos and some Certus quartz dust there ready to go to make the rest of the foil. The other thing that I can do fairly quickly here is I can grab the stuff to make this 3 steam turbines. I have the one back here, and if you recall from the last episode, I've got a spot that I want to put 4 turbines on the other side of the smelter. So these 3 plus that one there will make our 4 turbines. There's that. I need, what else do I need here? They're probably in here. Yeah, here they are. 6 motors, and then the fluid pipes. Oops. Do I need 3 or 6 of those? 6 of them. Okay. There we go. And that should be everything I need for the steam turbines. There we go. There's our 3 more steam turbines. That will get us a full MV worth of power, a whole 128, 32 times 4, 128. That'll be good for getting us our power for our EBF. So I can go ahead and take that off. Our LV energy hatches require these low voltage coils. I have everything else together, but not these low voltage coils. I need an assembler and just to set up some magnetic iron rods, some fine steel wire, and a programmed circuit of 1. So we'll go ahead and set that up. 4 and 32. We'll let that run because I don't recall how long that takes. It's not fast, but it's not slow either. So that'll take care of those. Our muffler hatch needs a fluid pipe, a rotor, a motor, and an LV. And see, yeah, we've we're using up quite a bit of power over there doing that stuff. So here we go, our muffler hatch. There is our muffler hatch done. The maintenance hatch is a pain in the rear because it wants all of these tools. That's why I went ahead and left that there. So I need a file, a hammer, wire cutter, saw, screwdriver. Let's see here. How many of these things? I'm missing a soft mallet and a crowbar, and those guys are over here. Soft mallet and crowbar. So here we go. Oops. Muffler hatch and done. And then everything can go back in here except the soft mallet and the crowbar. So there we go. There's all of that. And then I can put these guys back in here. Dink, dink. All right, so there is our maintenance hatch done. The next ones are our input buses and input hatches. Input bus is a 1, input hatch is a 1, the output bus is a 2, and it needs quite a bit of refined glue. So I did take some time. I was centrifuging some of the rubber into the raw rubber dust so that we could go ahead and get this done. Oh, it seems I made 2 extra more than I needed for those 2. No. Oh, I made not enough of the low voltage coils. So if we look at those, I need 16 fine steel wire, 32 in the wire mill. It's 8. So 4. I need 4 more steel with this guy set to a 3. So there we go. We'll get that up and running. For the hatches, I need 3 of those. One will be using a tank, set to 1. That should be this guy, set to a 1. Okay. Drop in some glue, let that go. Then we'll have one of these. And then once this guy kicks off, we'll bump this up to a 2. We'll drop in the second chest, and we'll make our other output bus. So there we go. There's our input hatch. Get that going. Oh, we're still a little short on glue. Let's go ahead and grab one of these guys, and we'll use up the rest of that glue. There we go. So pop that in, bump that up to a 2, and that will take care of all 3 of those. We got our EBF controller, and then the only other thing is to make our energy hatch, and then I need to do all of the wires for our copper nickel wire. I have our 2 stacks of stuff there. If we pull this guy, that guy will get going, and then I can take out the rest of the glue. I love that about 2.2, being able to remove the fluids from within the input slot, so you don't have to pump it out. You can just pull it out. Makes it I love that. It's a really good quality of life change to have. Oh, and that's bad. Look at that. That's what I get for doing it that way. Let's see here. How can we fix this? We can't melt it down, or we can't extract it. It looks like I'm just going to have to deal with the fact that I just ruined a a few a few ingots, and I'm going to have to make some more, which probably means I'm going to have to make some more nickel. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take a break. I'm going to get some more copper nickel going. I'm going to get the rest of these copper nickel wires made up. Need to finish making the rest of this mica based pulp because I need a forming press. Is that one of the things I have over here? That is one of the things. I may have to take a longer break than that to make a forming press so that we can make the rest of this mica-based sheet. That's terrible. The bending machine does that part. The alloy smelter does that part. But that forming press we're going to need because I do not have a forming press yet, I don't think. No, that's an extractor. So yeah, I'm going to have to make that, which means one more machine to be made. So I'm going to go ahead and take a break and get working on that stuff, and I'll bring you guys back here in a bit. All right, not a lot of effort there. The most part is trying to make these electronic circuits, but I've got my pistons, my tin cables, my LV machine hull, and there is my basic forming press. I'm going to go ahead and just pick up the mixer. I really don't have a need for the mixer to be running other than, you know, what we just did there. But now I can take the mica-based pulp and the asbestos dust, and we can get that stuff going. Once that is done going, then I'll use the alloy smelter up in the corner in order to make these insulator sheets. So I can go ahead and grab those 8. And we can just go ahead and put that up there now. Hopefully it'll do a full 16. If not, I might have to take another break and go make an alloy smelter. So let's see. This should work, I hope. Alright, looks like it's gonna, but it's gonna be slow. So I'm just going to step away from the noise. I'm going to go ahead and get those things done, and then we just have to put it through the bending machine in order to make the insulator foil. And then once the insulator foil is there, we can take the nickel, the foil, some molten tin, and make our copper nickel coil blocks. I already have all of the tin I need right here, so I can just drop that into the fluid extractor and it'll put it down into there and we'll be good to go. Or I'll kill something with power and it won't be so good to go. Fluid extractor, that's alright. It'll get back up to speed here shortly. So yeah, that will get us our 16 copper nickel coil blocks. And then as you can see here, I've got my EBF already started and stood up. I've got a little bit of stuff here to help protect it. I'm probably going to have to raise the roof here and then put the roof over these blocks so that it can't like rain right here and catch cables on fire as we run the cable connectors over to these LV energy hatches and then get this guy up and running. I'm also going to have to use all the tools on the back here in order to get it going. I've got my output bus here. I've got my input bus here. The hatch we don't use as much, so I put it in the back. And then, of course, our power and our muffler is right there dead center, facing up like it should be. And then once I have power, I can finally start to get these guys up and running. You can see they are full of creosote oil, so I do need to hurry up and make the pumps in order to get the liquid fuel going. And then I can also use the steam from that in order to power this stuff. And that way I can, because otherwise it's just sitting here and it's already cooled off a ton. So yeah, that's not gonna do us a whole lot of good. And then the power that I generate I can use in the little farm I have out back, which will then start harvesting the spruce wood and start using that and burning that for the fuel. So yeah, that worked good. Let's go ahead and grab this. And it looks like that makes that done, which then this guy will be fine and dandy to go. All right. So yeah, that is pretty much what I wanted to accomplish today, was getting all of that done. But rather than just bore you guys with all the fun of watching crafting occur and setting up a little bit of a base, I figured we could go ahead and, if we look in the Novice Thaumaturgy page, I had already completed getting the magic map focus, and we have this right here. If I turn in the focus and a stack of paper, it'll give me a blank magic map. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we're going to go ahead and claim that. And then if we drop ourselves in here, and then now we can take a look at our map and we can see what we've got going on. So there is our immediate surrounding. It looks like we have at least one, we got 2 liches there and there. It looks like we might have a little bit of a snow biome at the far edge in the, what is that, the south, west-southwest direction. So yeah, we can definitely take a look around with this map and see if we can't find ourselves a Naga. And if we can find that, that'd be lovely. I do need to keep my eyes up and open just because, well, there's another lich. Okay. I don't want to fall into any crevices. This game is notorious for having those canyon cutaways just in the middle of nowhere, just as you're running along. It's not a lot of fun to fall down in one of those and die, especially when you've got all your gear. So yeah. What is that? Okay, so that's like the area towards where the Hydra is. I've got plenty of lich stuff going on, but I'm still looking for some kind of Naga spot. Oh, there, it's getting a little bit brighter. So we might have something here to the south. You know what? Let's go ahead and run some, just because this is slow and painful walking through the forest. So let's see what we have. Yeah, there's definitely the knights that we got to deal with. It looks like this might actually, straight ahead, might be a... Yep, there's a Naga. Look at that. So there we go. We've got a Naga. We've got a couple of hills. We've got a lich nearby as well. We've got the Death Knights, I think is what they're called, the little ghost knights or whatever. And then that should be in the middle of the dark forest with an Urgast there. And then we've got the Yeti snow area off to the east. So excellent. Now that we know where things are, I mean, I guess I could travel over there and have a look-see at what's going on here. I have my mixer with me. That's never a good thing. Yeah, let's just bring our machines into the middle of an evil zone and lose some good loot, huh? That's smart. Okay, so here's a hedge maze. Not too worried about a hedge maze. Although it will be fun to go in there and deal with that at some point. Oh, yep, you can hear things spawning and dying. Okay. So yeah, should be coming up on the Naga layer here shortly. Yeah, there's the grass change. And let's see if we can find it here. There's the edge of the wall. So excellent. So there is our Naga layer right here. And once again, off to the west should be our Lich Tower. Let's see here. We found 2 other Lich Towers down here. Okay, that's good to know. Oh, this may actually be the fire swamp over in this direction then. Okay, so yeah, so we've got our Naga. we've got another Naga over there, so that's good. If we need to kill a second Naga in order to get some extra scales for anything that we might be doing, we've got that going on. We've got 3 different liches. We've got the Dark Forest with the Urgas Tower, and then it looks like the Fire Swamp might be just down on the other side there. There is another biome over there. I don't know what that one might be. And then, of course, up and to the west there, we've got our snow biome. So, yeah, this looks like it will do nicely. I'm going to take some time to prepare up. If we take a look at our getting around without dying, we can start taking a look at making some new weapons. Weapons I'm not as concerned with. I prefer to use something like a crossbow in order to do that stuff. And then we can work on maybe a composite vest armor, work on maybe some glider wings. I would love to have not necessarily the coal steam jetpack. I prefer the other jetpack, the copter one, so that we get some semblance of flight. The other things I'm going to work on is I'm going to work on the fluid canner. I'm going to work on finding a salt vein. That was one of the things I wanted to do. We can go with lepidolite, which is a lithium-containing ore, but also I can put that into a dowsing rod, and we can find ourselves some lithium-bearing salts, and that'll get us our salt anyway. So that we have access to salt. And then hopefully that didn't throw stuff out. Okay. And then the next set of stuff that I'm going to look at is I want to get down the battery path and the fluid canner path, because underneath that, if we go ahead and show all, we get to the battery buffer, the canner, and then this arc furnace. And our arc furnace gets us annealed copper, and the annealed copper makes our circuits a bit cheaper to make, or rather one annealed copper doubles the amount of resistors that we can create with it. So that will be a pretty big key there to getting that done. Once the EBF is up and running, I can also smelt down some of the aluminum that I have and get us into tier 2. And with the access to tier 2, we can start looking at some new tools and things like that. In particular, some newer armors I think unlock when we reach the MV tier, and then we'll also have to work on this section over here, getting gallium arsenide, making diodes, making our good circuits, and then making our basic circuit assembler. And once the basic circuit assembler is done, we will have, I believe it's the cheapest LV circuits that we can produce. And that will go towards making the rest of our LV stuff basically done. And then we can also look at making a scanner so that we can start looking at crops without having to put a whole lot of effort into just finding out what the name is. We'll actually be able to see what the stats are on our crops, and we can start looking at growing some better crops in order to better fuel our builds. So I'm going to go ahead and head back to base. I'm going to get myself prepped up, and in the next episode we should take a look at taking on the Naga here in the Twilight Forest. So I'll see you guys in that next episode. Till then.